Giving a child the ability to play when they've never played before is it's the biggest happiness that you can have. It brings tears to your eyes. Like, giving the gift of play is the best thing that could ever happen to anybody.
At Beakerhead this year, we are showcasing brain-controlled water guns that are filled with paint. People can come and wear this headset and control these water guns using their thoughts to contribute to a collaborative art piece. We created this device that essentially allows you to plug in a brain-computer interface into the input and then plug in any switch-adapted device or any standard electrical device into the output so that you can control it using your thoughts and using your brain as a switch to activate it or deactivate it. And this is really important for children who can't access the world around them using traditional access methods. They can participate in making art or playing games. Being able to participate in these creative activities, it's super important for neurodevelopment and psychological and physical well-being. And so if they don't have the opportunity to access these activities, then they're not going to have the same developmental outcomes as potentially somebody who is able to do that.
Adding BCI to our family has just filled our hearts with so much joy, letting her have those typical experiences that everyone else gets. Typical activities that we use BCI, a lot in the kitchen. So Claire likes to make milkshakes, and she uses our mix master so she can do all sorts of baking. She also has a pasta maker, so she makes noodles. She has a dart gun, so she and her brothers can whap each other with darts. We have a water gun, so she can shoot all of us and have water fights with everyone. It's very futuristic. I never in a million years thought that, you know, what they were telling me was true, that you put a headpiece on and it read the activity in her brain and read cues to make something work. So it's an amazing technology.
How a brain-computer interface works is that you put this headset on your head, these little sensors sit on your head, they have good contact with your scalp, they have these little felt pads in them that have saline in them so that it can better pick up your brain's electrical signals. You first have to teach the computer to know what your brain signals look like. So you'll say, okay, computer, this is what my brain signals look like when I am just being nice and relaxed and not really thinking about anything in particular. So we first train this neutral state or a baseline, and then we train this active command. So the feedback on the computer is this ball. So we usually instruct people to imagine that they're pushing this really heavy ball using both of their hands, but they're not actually moving. When you think push, the computer is able to recognize specific patterns in your brain signals, and then it can use those patterns to control whatever device is plugged into it.
We've been talking about it for a bit because Claire was learning how to use a communication device, an eye gaze device. And they thought that it would be really good because Claire, as you can see with her arms, she has a lot of trouble with her movements. So we went in, it was a nice cool lab, and they had all these light toys everywhere. And so we did some training and got, a headpiece on Claire and all hooked up. And they said, it's okay if she can't do it. This is hard. And Claire looked at it and she listened to her directions and she turned on a light. And then they did another toy and she made the lights turn on and bubbles go. She made a bubble machine go. And seeing her face and the excitement in her eyes that she did that on her own I'll never forget that moment. Getting this device has been amazing for Claire. Not only Claire, actually, our entire family. It's made a difference for active participation. When you have a child who has differences, you try to make everything you can inclusive. Obviously, it's never going to be 100%. It's never going to be the full experience that the other kids have, but you always try. But now with BCI, we don't have to change really any of the games. So it's definitely made a huge difference for our inclusiveness. With BCI, she gets her own roll of the dice, or her own turn, her own voice, really. She can do what she wants to do and how she wants to do it instead of us using her a little bit like a puppeteer and throwing a dice for her.
Exhibiting at Beakerhead, we can inspire a lot of the young minds to pursue careers or studies in these fields and just feel inspired by what they're seeing here. The technology that we're using, it's been around for about 50 years, but it's only recently have we helped push the field forward in moving this technology out of a research environment and into the hands of end users who could actually benefit from it. And so the more people that get involved in progressing this field, the quicker people who could benefit from this technology will be able to be using it out in their everyday environment and using it for the things that are meaningful for them.
What I would like to say to the people of Beakerhead and the people of the science, this is anyone who's involved in the growth of science, thank you. Thank you for existing. Thank you for having these exhibits, because all of us get to come and see how amazing it is, and all the ideas that, right now might not be fully in existence, but are coming, because being in this world now, being in the world that I rely on technology for my daughter, I just love this more than I ever could. So keep going and keep bringing these exhibits to Calgary, because we love them.